Take their seats, please, and get started. I call the Easter Seals annual meeting to order. I have a few comments since this is my last hoorah. And I want to thank you all for allowing me to serve. I want to thank Ron, the staff, the board. Obviously, it's been an honor to have this opportunity the last couple of years. It's been challenging coming out of COVID and, you know, figuring out the new world post-COVID. So, but, you know, we've got a great team here at Easter Seals that I was thinking about this morning and last night when I was trying to think about what I would talk about, and I just want to be real brief too, but I do feel like reflecting on everything pre-COVID and post-COVID, I think Easter Seals is a much stronger organization than what it was before. I think it's to Ron's benefit. I mean, what Ron has led us to, I think Ron's done a great job at it. And there's some things that we've got emails on recently that I don't want to take the thunder away from that, because I didn't have much to do with it, so I'll let them do that. But I mean, we've made huge strides. We're a much stronger organization. I don't think anybody can really deny that we have a strategy that we've never had before. So I want to thank Ron for that. But again, it's been a great experience. And I've loved it, and I look forward to helping George in any way I can for the most part. Congratulations to him. But after that, I guess that's it. Ron, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, so as Chris mentioned, we've taken a hiatus from having an annual meeting. In the past, we used to have our meetings in person, but the world changed with COVID. I started 2.5 months before we started making decisions relative to the pandemic. And so if you would please bear with us, for those of you on the Zoom watching, for those in the room, we're still sort of working out how we can do one of these hybrid meetings with a large audience coming in from the outside. And I would mention that we've got invitees. I'm not sure who all is on there because we can't see, but we have parents, we have guardians, program participants, Easter Seals staff have been invited, past leadership, other legislators, and the general public. So there could be up to, I believe, 500 on the webinar. We will be, for those who were not able to attend, recording the webinar and putting it out, the annual meeting out on our website, as well as the annual report that's out there. We are going to cover the following items. I'm going to give an update on our annual impact, strategic update. We'll then go into a couple of mission moments. The annual impact report is really about numbers, and we really want to bring home the impact that our organization is having on the lives of others. We have a couple of videos that we will show. We'd like to have those in our board meeting. We call them mission moments. One about the academy, and then later one about Disability Pride that was created. We will be recognizing legislators who helped us accomplish some amazing things during these past 2 sessions, both the regular session and the special session. We'll go through a financial report, and then we're also going to be nominating and electing directors to the board and officers. After that, we recognize our outgoing officers and board members, and Matt will share some upcoming events that we've got. We have a special guest in town today who's speaking at our Center for Training and Wellness, Aaron Likens. So Matt will talk about that event. And then we'll close with if there's any new business. So in terms of our annual impact report and our strategic update, I would mention that our impact report is online. If you go to Easter Seals, actually impactreport.eastersealsar.com, a lot of the information I'm covering is there already. Great job by our marketing team getting that out there. It is what we used to distribute at in-person annual meetings, but now we put it online. It also has other videos highlighting our strategy and mission. So we're not going to cover all of it, but it's available online at that link right there. In terms of impact, we served 1,045 children over the last year. They received a variety of services. The yellow box highlights the number served in each one of those programs. Our programs are growing. We're getting positive word of mouth from families sharing their experiences. The Academy of Riverdale says 88 served, but that includes the summer program. In addition, our capacity at the Academy is 75. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But huge impact by our children's services teams. And as I mentioned, we're getting a lot of really good positive feedback from the community and positive word of mouth. In terms of adult services, we serve 786 in the adult service programs. I would mention that our waiver services are in particular growing significantly. The state made a decision a couple of years ago to eliminate the waiver wait list. There were about 3,200 individuals on that wait list. Some who have been on there as much as a decade waiting for services. They're coming off, and we're in a position where we can hire and serve and grow. When I started with the organization 3.5 years ago, I believe we were serving something like 150 people in waiver. We're up to 258. That was as of June. Now we're at 280. We're taking about 5 referrals a week. It's the program that's growing the quickest out of all of our programs, and it's where the need is, where the state has made a commitment to eliminate that wait list. In addition to adult and children's services, we have another group, our support services area, that served 4,216. Not just children and adults, but also their families. And they got a range of resources. Our team in outreach that are featured here have a contract with the state and have had since the mid-80s, and do consulting across the state in special education and OT, PT, speech, helping some of the most challenging individuals who need support get support, but also coaching and working with the schools on how they can improve their services in special education. So those are the numbers. I also want to share a couple of amazing things that have happened this past year. One, the LEARNS Act was passed, and we were able to work with the governor's office and legislators to get it amended, not once, but twice, so that families could actually access not just the EFAs, which are the educational freedom accounts, to allow them to go to private schools like our academy, but also if they qualify financially, they can also receive the PIAC funds, the Philanthropic Investment in Arkansas Kids. And that will allow them to attend a private school like the Academy. It's our K-12 program that exclusively serves kids with special needs. Prior to the pandemic, I believe we had 22 students, and we were concerned after the pandemic started that we would be able to keep it open. Our board had some really rich discussions about strategically whether we should or should not, and whether we could afford to. They said, let's give it one more year. And in that 1 year, we went from serving 23 to 45 to 54 the next year, and now 75, and we're at capacity. One other thing that we received was exceptional news last Friday from the state. The state legislature approved funding for us to renovate a building on this campus across this parking lot. It's currently being used by a church. They're leaving at the end of this month. It was large enough to serve 150, the picture that we had in our mind. But the state said, the governor's office said, well, what would it take if we could serve the entire wait list? And so the renovations that we're we're projecting will serve not only the 75 who currently serve, but the 150 on the wait list. And so we're very appreciative of the funding that we got from the state. And that money will transform lives and give choice to folks who are looking for that kind of environment for their child or student with special needs. One other big thing that I'm extraordinarily proud of and excited about is launching this Friday. The first roommate housing pairing that we've done. We're helping people on the waiver program find roommates, share living arrangements, so their choices are not just living at home with mom and dad or in a community-based setting where the providers own it. This is going out into the community where they share the housing, they share staff, and we're looking to add remote supports using technology to help foster independence. We think this has the opportunity to potentially transform the way services are delivered here in Arkansas. Studies have shown that people who have the opportunity to live in that kind of environment with technology and have more independence, they are happier, they're more satisfied, they become more independent based on activities of daily living, and it will save the state and our funders money. It's a more efficient way of delivering services. Given that we have a crisis in the workforce, not being able to hire enough people, this is one of the ways we can address that. And so I'm going to introduce Susie Baker, our Vice President of Children's Services, who's going to share our first mission moment.
So we talked a lot about the academy and how it is a school for K through 12. And when I talked to you about this mission moment we're about to show, it's one that is very reflective of the life and the experiences of many of our families from birth to age to death. However, we support our children and adults with challenges. But in this video, we're going to share with you the HOPE scholarship fundraising that we initiated a couple of years ago. Many of the mission moments, like I said, we could share several of the progress, but this video reflects the thoughts and the feelings and the challenges that are experienced by many of our families. This shows a collective effort by our staff, our families, the children, on how they work together to raise funds to meet the cost of providing such excellent services at our K-12 school.
My name is Carrie Brockert. I'm the director here at the Academy. So when I got here in 2018, there were 17 kids enrolled. Currently, we are at 74 enrolled. There are 143 on the wait list. We looked for 3 years for a school that was best fit for our daughter. We started out in public school, and public school's great, nothing to say about that, but it just wasn't meeting her specific needs. So we were just very grateful that the Academy was willing to take her on.
When we started looking, we were just so overwhelmed. You know, we looked at some public schools and it was just not the route we wanted to go.
To me, the HOPE scholarship means so much because there are a lot of financial responsibilities that come with having a child with special needs.
Having that help is a weight off our shoulders, kind of, especially for my husband. You know, we have 5 kids and so many other, you know, things we have to worry about financially that we couldn't do it without it.
Yeah, so it takes more money to educate a student with special needs versus your typical developing students because they require more support, obviously. So every penny of the donations makes a huge difference. When you give to the HOPE scholarship, I know this is going to kind of sound cliche, but you are changing a life, literally. So these families are waiting on waiting lists, hoping and praying that they get in because they have nowhere else to place their children. Just like all of our Easter Seals programs, we want to be inclusive and we want to include anyone that needs our services. So the HOPE scholarship will provide that for those kids that you know, they would just blossom here, but financially it's holding it back.
But back to the slides, back in the same. Now we're gonna honor and recognize 5 legislators who helped us get the funding needed or the amendments needed so that families get access to funding so that the academy can remain affordable for anyone who would like to attend. And so in recognition of their leadership, their support and work, these members of the Arkansas legislature helped amend the LEARNS Act and the PIAC Act, not once, as I mentioned, but twice, for the benefit of families with students with disabilities so that private special education services would be a viable financial choice regardless of income. So for 2023, with our inaugural awards, Easter Seals Arkansas is happy to announce the winners and the awardees this year of the Independence and Choice Awards. So if you'll, I'll click it, there we go. So first is Representative Sonia Barker. She was not able to attend today. She had another commitment in her district that she needed to attend. Next is Representative Keith Brooks, who is here in the room today. Keith, if you would mind come up, and if you want to say a few words, we want to thank you.
One of the more dangerous things you can do is to give a legislator a microphone. Stand behind. I really appreciate Ron and the other team here at Easter Seals and the mission that y'all have. Legislative work it has its ups and downs, but to see organizations like this who have taken advantage of the opportunities that are out there and more than anything else are willing to step up and say, we want to serve kids. That means the world. As a dad of a child with special needs, started in this world a long time ago and saw the issues and challenges that parents face and how completely consuming it can be. And to know that Easter Seals has stepped up to say, we want to be a voice, we want to be a method that families can find the right fit and to be able to play just a small little role from a legislative perspective to help continue to make that possible for more and more families. It's our goal here in the state of Arkansas to make sure that every family has the opportunity to choose the educational needs that best fits their child. And if we can continue to support the mission of folks like Easter Seals and increase that, then I think that makes what we do worth it. So thank you all so much for what you do because it means the world to families.
Thank you. Next up is Senator Breanne Davis, the sponsor of the LEARNS Act. And this is going to be a test of our technology. I think she may be online.
She actually texted me. She showed her a minute. She had to speak and she was right to speak because she's not going to be able to.
Okay, so John Gilmore let me know that she is not available. I can tell you that a little story about how we actually got to have the LEARNS Act amended. John and I were sitting, John Gilmore, our lobbyist, we're sitting in the gallery of the Senate. And I said, I just need 5 minutes with her. He literally texted her. She came off the floor. I explained what we were trying to do. She immediately got it and ran with it. And so it went from an idea to actually being passed in the regular session in 3 weeks, which is unheard of. And I believe it was the only amendment to the LEARNS Act that was passed. So it says, not only was the governor's office supportive of this change, but also the legislature, because there was not a single no vote against it. So next up is Senator Jonathan Dismang. Jonathan also has a prior commitment. He sends his regrets, but he was also very instrumental in helping get the amendments passed. And then last but not least, Senator Ben Gilmore from District 1. who also was very instrumental in helping get both of these passed. Senator Gilmore, if you'll come.
Well, as they say in politics, everything's been said and just not everyone said it yet, so here I am. No, I just want to say thank you to you guys for the work that you do, the impact that you make in so many lives cannot go unstated. I think you understand the positions you all hold and those who are watching with us. The lives that you're impacting is tremendous. From the clients you serve, the families that take benefit of the services that are provided here at Easter Seals is just amazing. And we're happy to play but a small role in this, as Keith has already stated, because we realize the work that you do. The impact that you're making from, everywhere across the state, people from my district, which is the very far, most corner of Southeast Arkansas you can get are benefiting from the services you provide. And so we realize that and we say, thank you. This is not about us. This is about you. This is about the families that are being impacted, the clients that you serve, and just the work that you will continue to do. And so we're happy to be helpful in that endeavor, and we'll continue to do so. But I just also want to say a huge shout out to Keith and Breanne Davis, Keith Brooks, Representative Brooks, and Senator Davis for the work that they did in championing the LEARNS Act. This act will have a huge impact going forward for so many families and kids across our state. And other legislators are involved, but they were the shoulders that burdened that carried that bill. Was not an easy lift. We came alongside and helped with a few different things, even in the special session, but they're the ones that really worked hard to get this over the finish line, and we're so willing, even at that late hour, to listen and work toward getting that amendment that was needed, and so many other things that they've championed. So just to work with them and others involved has been tremendous, and our governor, of course, for the work that she's done. But again, thank you so much for what you do. I see so many leaders in this room, and you have done so much and will continue to do that. And so I say thank you for what you've done. Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to mention that, couple things. One, when we amended the LEARNS Act the first time, because of eligibility requirements, families who were already attending a private school like the Academy were not going to be eligible. We had missed that little nuance. So we got it amended, and it was going to be very beneficial for any new families that were attending a private school like the Academy for the first time. But the second time, we also corrected the philanthropic investment in Kids Act so that it also applied to returning families. So very, very appreciative. Each of them are receiving a customized piece of artwork that was created in a program that we have at our Center for Training and Wellness. It's for individuals who have limited mobility, who work with a partner who basically communicate either with a laser device, a pointing device. They identify what colors they want, what tool they want, where they want it placed. And so these are pieces of art that were created specifically for you guys by folks that are being served in our program. And so we again want to thank you for that. And that's sort of a connection to our mission. So you have that as a reminder. But thank you. We also are going to make a commitment. Joey mentioned this. Oftentimes, legislators are asked to solve problems and go on to the next thing. We want to keep you informed about how we're using the funds, how the changes with the PAC have impacted families, as well as what we're doing with the building across the parking lot. So we will definitely keep the legislature informed so that they know we are good stewards of the money and that you've made a difference. So thank you very much for being here today. I appreciate all that you've done to help us with this, to be able to serve our families. Well, thank you very much. Next on the agenda is our annual financial report, and I'd like to introduce Stephanie Smith, our Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer.
Yeah, good afternoon. So I'm pleased to report that fiscal year ended June 30th, 2023, really was our coming out year from COVID. And just to give some perspective, our revenue for that year was approximately $35 million. Our last year, before we went into COVID, fiscal year 2019, we were at 25 million. So I think it really speaks to the board and the leadership of our organization and all of our teams across Easter Seals of the commitment to keep services going, to continue to grow and improve and strengthen across the organization. So that was a 40% growth in 5 years of COVID. So pretty impressive. As far as how we spent our funds, both the dollars raised and our money from Medicaid and other grant funders, approximately 88% of our money went to our programs and services, which is really high in the nonprofit industry. 10.6 went to management in general, and then 1.8 to fundraising. So I think that speaks very well of the really trying to adhere to the fiduciary responsibility of the organization. So any questions?
Thank you. Those in the room, on their chairs or in front of them, they were given the handout of the last two slides. But I'll point again that this information is available on our website as part of our annual impact report. And Mac, the clerk is not moving for me. Next up, I'd like to introduce our Vice President of Adult Services, Brad Hagan. He joined shortly after I joined the organization. In fact, he was my first hire. And because of the pandemic, we had to delay his start because we weren't sure how we were going to navigate things. And so Brad has come in and done a great job at helping grow and develop our adult services. And he is going to share a mission moment with you all.
All right, thank you, Ron. Back in July, we celebrated Disability Pride Month, and this video highlights a few of our adults that attend our Center for Training and Wellness, also known as the CTW. And at the CTW, our adults work hard towards increasing their skills towards living more independently, despite any of the challenges they may have ahead of them with their disability. And so we are very proud to really honor them and take time to really say that we were so proud of them. As we watch this video, I want to kind of just talk about the two individuals that are highlighted. One is Justin. Justin graduated high school in 2018. His lifetime goal since then has been to move into his own apartment. And with his disability, he and his family did not think that that was going to be a possibility. But I'm pleased to say that this past summer, he did move into his own apartment, is living independently with support from Easter Seals and his family, and is living his dream right now. And I just want to say thank you to the team and really for Justin's family, who really shows that any individual who wants to live independently with the support of Easter Seals and their family really can do so. That's really not a challenge that we cannot overcome. The other individual I'd like to highlight is Terry. Terry's not had a job since the late 1990s, did not think it was possible to enter the workforce again. At the Center for Training and Wellness, we have a volunteer program in which individuals can try out different jobs around the Center for Training and Wellness. So Terry signed up for that program and signed up to be a janitor and help with the cleaning of the facility during the day. At that time, we're still coming out of COVID, and we had a contractor that was coming in and cleaning once during the day. And so through Terry's hard work and dedication and the great job that he did, we actually replaced Terry. We hired Terry and let the contracted company go because Terry was doing such a great job. So it really just goes to show that the folks that we serve, the children and adults that we serve, can really attain a high achievement with support from Easter Seals and family members. So without further ado, here's the video.
and wellness, we work to empower our adults to be the best that they can be with their disabilities.
I would explain East Seals as a place that helps people with disabilities, gives them access to things that isn't always accessible outside of Easter Seals.
These guys work so hard every day. They learn something new every day. Some of them are learning to walk, they're learning to cook and learning to be independent. And they're so happy about that.
Justin, my son, is 24 years old. He was born on Christmas Day. He has been here at CTW since 2018. He loves coming here, loves the day program, has lots of friends. He's got cerebral palsy. He's in a wheelchair, but he's a typical 24-year-old. He is bright. He is smart.
Jessie and her boyfriend Donald are both here and they live with me. They had been in other programs for quite some time. They've been here a couple months now and they love it. They just love it here.
Miss Shelley is so nice. She went to bingo with us. Yes.
Did you make anything?
No.
Hey, my name is Terry Brown. I work for Easter Seals. I'm a janitor and I love my job. I take it very seriously and I do everything, whatever they need me to do, I do it.
A lot of our adults thinking about Terry, he has a job and he takes such great pride in that job. And that's why he comes every day.
I would describe disability pride as being able to do just about anything that anyone can do. And it's kind of cool because it's not as easy always for people with disabilities to, achieve something. But when they do, it just means that they conquered something even bigger than someone without a disability.
So for me, the pride comes in that when there's the community of people who really care, who are really willing to go the extra mile, because again, these guys are just regular people. They just learn different.
What makes me proud? I like being here.
What makes you proud of it?
The people, the effort, the energy and all that stuff. Yeah.
Disability pride means a sense of pride for the disabled individual. My son has just recently moved out and I'm just now seeing full-on disability pride. It feels so good to see him so happy and proud of what he's done.
Great video. Thank you, Brad, for sharing that. I'd like to give real credit and a shout out to our marketing partners, iProud, Patrick Laughlin and his team created these videos for us. We use them on our website, we use them for fundraising. And their team is just super dedicated. And at the beginning of the pandemic, when we signed up with them, they were literally in the war room with us, trying to figure out how we communicate what we're doing and how we're doing it. So I just want to give a huge thank you to iProud and the team over at iProud. So we're at that point of the agenda, we're at that point of the agenda where we are going to re-elect directors, elect new directors, and nominate officers for the upcoming year. Wendy C., a member of the advocacy committee, is pinch hitting today on behalf of Gus Bratsinis.
He's on though, if you need it.
Gus, are you there?
He just put it on.
I'm here. I'm here. Thank you. Let Wendy give the report.
Wendy C.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for your permission, Gus.
This is my kid.
Just in case. Okay, can I go to the next slide? Or do I need to do it? Great, so as Ron mentioned, we're gonna go through 4 elections very quickly, and I've got 8 minutes to do it. Let's go to the next slide. So per the Easter Seals bylaws, we, the nominating and governance committee have the ability to renominate and re-elect directors who have served more than 2 terms. So we have nominated, Dr. James Hunt, Ben Ridings, Tiffany Robinson, and Lauren Simpson. And Chris,
Oh. So do I have a motion to? approve?
moved.
Second. Second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you.
next slide. We are also renominating, board members who have, served their first term. And we're nominating them to serve another 3-year term, so it'd be their second 3-year term. And that is Ashley Hilburn, Joey Lambert, Laura Landry, Mike Preston, and Linus Reigns.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve these records for another year. or for another term. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
And we're very excited to nominate a new member of our board, Leon Jones. Nomination for his first 3-year term. I don't believe he's here today, correct? He's not able to join us.
So I'll entertain a motion to nominate Leon Jones to, or to elect Leon Jones to the new director.
So moved.
Second. It's just a race. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We can take turns. We can do it.
When they're that good, you wanna move it.
Oh, I see. You want to be on record.
That's right.
Okay. I didn't know the game. All right.
Okay, and then lastly, officers, nominating committee presents the following slate of officers for a 1-year term. George Cole as chair, Rudy C. vice chair, Brock Martin treasurer, and Joey Lambert secretary.
This was just going through. We need to vote. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
You can't either.
I second it. There we go.
So at this point of the meeting,
yes.
George Cole is now the new chair of the Easter Seals Board. I'd like to welcome him up to recognize our outgoing officers and directors. George Cole.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chris, for your service. We do have some outgoing officers and directors. As you saw, we have new directors coming in, try to have some movement through the board. I did want to say a couple things that you guys saw in the videos. In our mission, we didn't have it up there, but really the Easter Seals Arkansas mission, empowering individuals with disabilities to live, learn, work, and play in their communities. And that's from the time that they're children all the way through their adults. As Brad talked about, trying to get some more adult folks to live independently, whether it's through roommate housing or through family support or Easter Seals support. And even when they're children, getting the children through therapies or anything else they may need to do. I joined the board 9 years ago at this exact meeting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months later, I became a customer of Easter Seals when my son was born 10 weeks early. So kind of a different path to serve, but my son has spent 3 years here, went through all of his therapies, occupational therapy, physical therapy. He's now 3rd grade at John Roberts. But always believed in the mission here. And I know a lot of the folks on the board have also had children and family members come through Easter Seals. So it's been a real pleasure to serve. I'm proud that you guys have confidence in me being the chair. So we've got a few board members that are leaving. I don't believe the 3 of them are here. So Jim Irwin will be departing from the board and he will still be on the board committee. Michael DeSalle, also departing the board, will still be on the board committee. And then Matt McClendon is our former secretary and director. He is leaving the board completely. So Dr. Hunt is not here, checking it out, I guess. So you will not get to hear his voice. He has the radio station voice that all of us wish we had. Really appreciated Dr. Hunt. He became our chair right as COVID hit. And having a medical professional as the chair was invaluable. I believe we forced him to serve 2 terms. But having Dr. Hunt here throughout COVID and having his knowledge was just invaluable. But he has supported Easter Seals throughout. And he also will be serving as the chair of the program committee. So he is moving into that role as part of his growth on the board. And then I would like for our immediate past chair, Chris Johnson, to come up if you would, please. I want to thank Chris again for all the growth and all the change we've had as an organization. Chris has been invaluable to help us do that.
Aaron, why don't you come join me for just a second so people can see you on camera real quick. So tonight we're having a special event at the Center for Training and Wellness. They'll actually enter through the gym door that's on the western side of the building there at Highway 10 and Taylor Loop. But Aaron Likens will be speaking to us tonight. He is an author and a presenter and a flagman at the end of. Why don't you just tell them a little bit about yourself, Aaron?
As a public speaker, author, and flagman of the NTT IndyCar Series, which includes the biggest race in the world, the Indy 500. Still, can't believe I can say that. It's just blows my mind. But public speaker, given over about 1,050, 1,060 presentations to closing in on 100,000 people live. So can't wait to present tonight.
We're so glad to have you. So be sure to come out tonight. There will be Facebook Live as well. So you can go, if you're part of our Easter Seals page, you can watch that and comment or ask your questions through it. But also, so we will be taking feedback from that, and then he does great Q&A from the audience. So if you have anyone, especially that is on the spectrum, it is a great Q&A session at the end. Great speaker, but also you can throw anything at this guy and he will come back with great answers. So anyway, we're looking forward to that, Aaron.
There'll be refreshments as well.
Oh, Jillian says there'll be refreshments. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So then as far as fundraisers coming up, we have Art and Soul on November 9th at the Center for Training and Wellness. Ron mentioned some of this artwork that we're showing today comes from the ART program for those that we serve that are non-ambulatory that work with a tracker to make great pieces of art. We have lots of art from local artists. We still have tickets and tables available for that. Coming up December 6th and 7th, we have what we call 24 hours for Easter Seals. It starts at 10 o'clock in the morning on one day, it ends at 10 o'clock in the morning the next day. And we just stay up all night and raise money. It's gonna be great. So, anyway. So join us for that. And then the fashion event, I just wanted to make a brief note that this event has grown leaps and bounds over the years, so much so that we have sometimes as many as 700 to 800 people in a room. So we're moving it to the Jack Stevens Center. So it will be quite a large venue. That will be able to hold more folks. So reserve that, go ahead and put March 7th on your calendar and plan on being there, because now if you can imagine a big fashion show in a big basketball arena, that's what it's gonna be. Now, where's Rita Turner? So, usually at the annual meeting, we do special volunteer recognition and Brita presents the awards, right? She presents the awards to those who have served in different capacities, children, group, or maybe they did special services. She's had sewing clubs, all kinds of things that she'd recognize at the annual meeting. Well, we thought that we wanted to rename the volunteer awards this year moving forward, because really volunteers, this kind of died during the pandemic. We couldn't do it. And they have come back with a really big force this year. And so, because of her hard work, we wanted to dedicate the volunteer awards in her honor moving forward. So there'll be the Brita Turner volunteer. Yeah. It's great, Brita's from Ireland. So, great.
Thank you so much.
So, anything?
Well, I'm absolutely, well, highly unusual that Rita doesn't know what to say. But, I love my job, as you probably know, and yes, everybody thinks I should have retired a few years ago, but no, I'm not going yet. So I'm still gonna stick around. I love the volunteers. It really shows, the goodness in people. I get to see the goodness every day. I don't get to see that wickedness, badness, or anything else. So why wouldn't I stay with it? They're absolutely wonderful, and thank you very, very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, Rita's awesome, by the way. She does really great. Opening the floor, is there any new business for the board here at our annual meeting? If no, then I will take a motion in a second to adjourn. No move. Chris?
Second.
Wendy? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much for attending. Special thanks to our legislative partners over there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, tell them about the Zoom switch.
Yeah, so for board members who are tuning in remotely, and I gotta say, at our last board meeting, we actually had an international meeting. We had 2 of our board members attend from Greece. So the miracles of modern technology just amaze us. So don't let work get in the way of fun, and don't let fun get in the way of work. You can blend it and do both. So we appreciate that. Brock and Gus both attended when they were there for a wedding in June. So thank you all for being here. We are going to adjourn this meeting. We're going to do a little setup in the room, and then we'll reconvene right at noon for our regular trimesterly board meeting. So thank you for being here. People online, we're going to switch to the board specific. We're not going to be in the webinar, but in our regular board meeting format on a different Zoom. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being here again, and we will adjourn. Thanks.